Maybe I am too proper and dignified for you. Maybe you would have been happier with someone a little more colorful and flamboyant, like the geek.
Well, there would have been a lot more laughs than a stuffed shirt.
Oh, I thought you said I wasn't.
Well, you are now.
I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to listen. I've got a case in court in the morning.
Where are you going?
To sleep.
Now? How can you sleep now?
I'm going to close my eyes and count Nietzsche's. Good night.
You can't go to sleep now. We're having a fight.
You have the fight. When you're through, turn off the lights.
That gets me insane. You can even control your emotions.
Look, I'm just as upset as you are. But when I get hungry, I eat. And when I get tired, I sleep. You eat and sleep too. Don't deny it. I've seen you.
Well, not in the middle of a crisis.
What crisis? We're just yelling a little.
You don't consider this a crisis. Our entire marriage hangs in the balance.
It does. When did that happen?
Just now. It's suddenly very clear that you and I have absolutely nothing in common.
Why? Because I won't walk barefoot in the park in winter? You haven't got a case, Corey. Adultery, yes. Cold feet, no.
Don't oversimplify this. I'm angry. Can't you see that?
It's about 2:15, Corey. If I can fall asleep in about half an hour, I can get about 5 hours sleep. I'll call you from court in the morning. We'll fight over the phone.
You will not go to sleep. You will stay here and fight to save our marriage.
If our marriage hinges on breathing fish balls and poofla-poo pies, it's not worth saving. I'm not going to crawl into our tiny little single bed and go to sleep. If you care to join me, we'll be sleeping from left to right tonight.
You won't discuss it. You're afraid to discuss it. I married a coward.
Corey, would you bring in a pail? The closet's dripping.
I hate you. I hate you. I really, really hate you.
Now there's one thing I learned in court. Be careful when you're tired and angry. You might say something you will soon regret. I am now tired and angry.
And a coward.
And now I will say something I will soon regret. Look, maybe you're right. Maybe we have nothing in common. Maybe we rushed into this marriage a little too fast. Maybe love isn't enough. Maybe two people have to take more than just a blood test. Maybe they should be checked for common sense, understanding, and emotional maturity.
All right. Well, why don't you get it passed in the Supreme Court? Only those couples bearing a letter from their psychiatrist proving that they're well-adjusted will be permitted to be married.
You're impossible.
You're unbearable.
You belong in a nursery school.
Better than the home for the fighting days.
Okay, Corey.
Don't touch me! Don't you touch me! I don't want you near me ever again!
Corey, you're hysterical.
I'm not hysterical. I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's no good between us, Paul. It never will be again.
Holy cow.
I'm sorry. I didn't want to cry.
Oh, go ahead and cry. For Pete's sakes, cry.
Don't you tell me when to cry. I will cry when I want to cry, and I'm not going to have my cry until you are out of this apartment.
What do you mean, out of this apartment?
Well, you don't think we're going to live here together, do you? After tonight?
Are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. I want a divorce.
Divorce? What?
I'm sorry, Paul. I can't discuss it anymore. Good night.
Where are you going?
To bed.
You can't, not now.
You did earlier.
That was in the middle of a fight. This is in the middle of a divorce.
I can't talk to you when you're hysterical. Good night.
Will you come here? I want to know why you want a divorce.
I already told you. Because you and I have absolutely nothing in common.
What about the 6 days at the plaza?
6 days does not a week make.
What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I want a divorce.
You know, I think you really mean it.
I do.
You mean every time we have a little fight, you're going to want a divorce?
There aren't going to be any more little fights. This is the end, Paul. This is it. Good night.
You're serious?
Dead serious.
You mean the whole thing? With signing papers, and going to court, and shaking hands, goodbye, finished, forever, divorced?
That's what I mean.
I see. Well, I guess there's nothing left to be said.
I guess not.
Right. Well, good night, Corey.
Where are you going?
To bed.
Don't you want to talk about it?
At 2:30 in the morning?
I can't sleep until this thing is settled.
Well, it may take 3 months. Why don't you at least take a nap?
You don't have to get snippy.
Well, damn it, I'm sorry. But when I plan divorces, I'm snippy, and when I plan vacations, I'm happy. All right. You want to plan this thing? Let's plan it. You want a quick divorce or a slow, painful one?
I'm going to bed.
You stay here, you get no divorce from me.
Okay? But you can try acting civilized.
All right. I'll be civilized. But charmed, you're not going to get. Now sit down. Because there's a lot of legal and technical details to go through.
Can't you do all that? I don't know anything about legal things.
Aha. So now I'm the doer, and you're the watcher. Right, Corey? Right? Isn't that right, Corey?
So this is what you're really like.
Yes. Yes.
All right. What do you want me to do?
First of all, what grounds?
Grounds?
That's right. Grounds. What is your reason for divorcing me? And remember, my failure to appreciate Nietzsche's will only hold up in a Russian court.
You were screaming, Paul. Why weren't you this funny when we were happy?
Alright, how about incompatible?
Fine. Are you through with me?
Not yet. What about the financial settlement?
I don't want a thing.
Oh, but you're entitled to it. Alimony, property. Supposing I just pay your rent. $75.63 a month, was it?
Aha.
And you can have the furniture and the wedding gifts. I just like to keep my clothes.
I hardly expected bitterness from you.
I'm not bitter. That's a statement of fact. You're always wearing my pajamas and slippers.
Only after you go to work.
Why?
Because I like the way they... Never mind, it's stupid. I'll sign over your pajamas and slippers.
You can visit them once a month if you'd like.
That's bitter.
You're damn right it is.
You have no right to be bitter.
Don't tell me when to be bitter.
This just didn't work out, that's all.
Sure as hell didn't.
You can't say we didn't try.
Almost 2 whole weeks.
Why are we finding out in 2 years?
Or 20.
Or 50?
Lucky, aren't we?
Luckiest people in the whole world.
I thought you weren't going to cry.
Well, I am. I'm going to have the biggest cry I ever had in my whole life, and I'm going to enjoy it. Because I'm going to cry so loud that I'm going to keep you awake all night long. Good night, Paul. I mean goodbye. I want to cry, and I'm not going to have my cry until you are out of this apartment.
I am now tired and angry.
And a coward.